don't really care about the HUD too much in this format. It might help in some few cases, but mainly I just wanted to have a ability to mark hands for later review. Ace-5 is definitely going to be a shove on the button, assuming it's folded to us. Definitely want to look at stacks and pay attention to who the biggest stack is. When I shoved King 10 in the last match, I was shoving into the big stack in the big blind, which certainly is something to think about. But again, if something's a clear shove when it doesn't seem that close, it's usually just going to be a shove, and you don't have to worry so much about the stack. The stack size is not always the most important factor. There's too many other factors to consider to overvalue or that the importance of the stack sizes. Obviously, stack sizes become more important on the bubble. Although we were technically four-handed, so not far from the bubble in that spot, so it's certainly not a zero factor. So we're 0 for 2, but you know, the nice thing about losing these is you don't lose any real money. You lose a few FPPs, but obviously you'll run hot sometimes and just cash in like a bunch in a row. Often you don't have to even win many pots, or maybe you double up once and you will still cash from all the craziness around you. 10-9 is kind of an easy fold. Again, when people call too loose, these marginal spots are going to be pretty bad. But I'm going to mark that one just for the sake of like kind of what's a good first hand readless under the gun shoving range. That'll be a decent thing to look at later. Ace-9 I definitely am going to be calling. Probably would call even if the small blind called, like even in a three-way. Like I've just seen too many like people get it in so light. It's really hard to fold even a middle ace like Ace-9 there, even if it was a three-way pot. Versus a button or even a cutoff shove, it's just a snap call, heads up. Sevens I'm shoving under the gun. I'm not going to shove, I don't think I'm going to shove all pairs under the gun in that spot, but I think probably 5s plus is going to be good enough. We lose a flip. So it goes. Let's get another one up. King Queen doesn't really work out for us, but good thing we were just going up against the short stack he was in for literally just one big blind. I'm not going to mark that one. It's not remotely interesting. Ace-2 in the cutoff is interesting, assuming it folds to you. But I think it's on the side of a fold. There's a few things that come into play here, assuming this guy wasn't in, assuming we're the first ones in. Again, expect pretty extremely loose calling ranges from the blinds due to their stack sizes and due to the nature of these tournaments. And secondly, when you have more chips, when you have a double stack, the value of winning more chips just goes down dramatically, because winning all the chips does just as good as finishing second with 5 chips. And so the premium on the value of additional chips is not there. The value is really in survival. Obviously there's a balance. Obviously there's a line you have to draw where, you know, how tight do I play for quote unquote survival and how aggressive do I play for chip accumulation. But it's more of a balance of homeostasis, staying alive. I never thought I would say homeostasis in a video, but I think I just did. And yeah, accumulating huge chip stacks just isn't as much of a priority. If you push every thin edge when you are a big stack, you'll end up, you know, a good chunk of the time, you know, losing that big stack, either back to a normal stack or getting busted. And in a spot where you know, just winning the blinds or even doubling, or you know, winning a small stack's chips would have been just not nearly as profitable as the penalty of losing. So hopefully that makes sense, whatever the hell I just said, but because I know it's very important.